Greetings, this is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. It is Wednesday, and on good Wednesdays like this, we begin with a tarot reading. So, peace and welcome to everyone present. Fat Tony, peace, peace. Poised by Jade, peace and welcome. Anna Molly, peace and greetings. Always great to see you. So let's see what energy is at play today. Oh yeah, we have the moon in Leo and the sun in Aries. Peace, useless familiar. I think that I owe you a reading here. If you would like to have one today, we can certainly do that. But yeah, as usual, we're going to get started with a collective reading, and then we're going to move to the individuals, see how that goes. David Soul, peace. Ramen Noodle 6, peace, peace. Volmond, peace and greetings. Oracle of Medusa, peace. All right, let's get started. Let us begin. Oh yeah. How's your week been so far? Mine's been pretty straight, pretty copacetic. All right, so to get started here, we've certainly got the moon in Leo. Aries. We literally have just begun the astrological new year, and the tone and the pace that is being set right now is going to be a big indicator of where we take this thing for the next 12 months. Yeah. All right. And by the way, if you're new to this channel, welcome, of course. Every Saturday we do an occult book study focused on a specific book. We dissect it page by page. Usually on Thursdays, I'll go through with a live lecture and we'll talk about certain occult concepts. And usually on Wednesdays, like this, are days where I do tarot readings, starting with a reading for the collective, and anyone who requests a personal reading, we go forward and do that. So if this is your kind of thing, if this is your cup of tea or coffee, go ahead and hit the like button, the subscribe button, and relax. Tune in. Let's kick it. I like to do these general readings with the traditional deck, the Rider White. Simple, to the point. Whoop. Well, somebody already wants some attention. Peace, peace. The Digital Alchemist says, all right, sign up for personal reading. Okay, well, we've got you at number 2. We'll start with Useless Familiar, and number 2 will be the Digital Alchemist. Just be sure to send me your sun sign, your moon sign, and your ascendant. If you have those, if you wish to share those. So if you do sign up for a reading, send me your sun, your moon, and your ascendant. Thank you. If I'm not mistaken, Fat Tony says, shit, I haven't figured out the sun and moon yet. Next time. Yeah, if you remember to, just leave me a comment in this video or in any other video, and I will write descriptive instructions for you to get that information. So, talking about the collective energies, we have just left the season of these two eclipses, and we've been in the season of Mercury retrograde for some time. Yesterday should have been a pretty interesting day for you. Not necessarily like crazy and wild, but perhaps a very peaceful and nice day, seeing as to how there were pretty much no transits whatsoever happening, except for Mercury retrograde, of course, but there's nothing else going on in the sky. So yesterday you might have seen a day that was kind of calm and peaceful, and maybe even a vision of what the near future is going to be like for you. Did anyone else notice an especially calm and relaxed day yesterday? Ramen Noodle says yesterday was a chaotic day. Interesting. So let's go with the energies of pretty much now to the next week. Pretty much now to the next week. Let's see what these energies are functioning like. Anna says Monday and Tuesday were rough. Well, let me rephrase that. At least for myself, now that I think about it, I did have some technical difficulties. I had some setbacks, but the overall, like once all that was said and done, I honestly forgot about that in favor of the other things that were happening. But you know, it's different for everybody. The main thing was that there were not any conflicting type of transits whatsoever at all. Like there was nothing yesterday. Nothing. So I wonder what that might say, right? Because what we're dealing with astrology and with the circulating energy, and the fact that astrology is just a reading of those energies, maybe that has more to do with what your neutral state is, what your default state is. Maybe that was a good time to kind of let certain things from within, certain experiences or scenarios rise to the surface to show you what still needs to be dealt with. So let's start with the first three cards, dealing with the energy of these next couple of days. So the first thing that jumped out here was the Seven of Swords. Now, astrologically speaking, the Seven of Swords is ruled by the moon in Aquarius. Seven has a lot to do with a certain level of preparation and resting before intense activity, right? The number 7 has to do with Netzach, with Venus, dealing with nature and the evolution and progress of the art. Being in the realm of swords, this is on the astral plane. This is dealing with things that have not yet been created, but still in development. So that being said, this particular card represents a certain spontaneity, if you will. A spontaneity as far as what's continuing to be stimulated in the thought process. In other words, maybe you're starting to have some ideas that are coming out of nowhere towards starting or building something or initiating something. With the moon being a symbol of constant change, and Aquarius being ruled by Uranus, a planet of surprised and unexpected activity, we can probably kick off the next week or so with energies of thoughts that kind of seem to come from nowhere. Let's see how that goes. Boom. Death. So it very well may be that there are certain scenarios that are beginning to come to an end, starting to come to a close, and you're really noticing that. Perhaps you're beginning to pick that up subconsciously, which is why you're stirring about, looking for new ideas, looking for new inspiration, looking for new directions to send your thought process. Oath, greetings. So, unexpected ideas, the death of many situations that have been going on in your life. I don't see this as a death of one thing. I'm seeing that this is a death of quite a handful of things. You can see that this guy's actually moving away from this. So it seems like a lot of these new ideas that are being stimulated here is a moving away from scenarios in your life that are no longer serving a useful or appropriate purpose. Let me know if anyone's feeling that so far. Yes. Coffee is good and ready. Perfect. New ideas. Moving away from the old. Transformation, right? Because anytime the static, consistent, repetitive scenarios in our lives begin to shift or die away, that automatically is going to result in a change. Here we have the Five of Swords. Now we know that the 5s, the 6s, and the 7s relate to the fixed signs of the zodiac. In particular, this is going to deal with Venus and Aquarius. Now the 5s deal with change, hardcore change. And when I say hardcore change, I don't mean that it's always disastrous, but what it definitely means is that there is a certain and definitive change. It's not a maybe. There's an absolute change that's happening, and you're going to start to see it. If you haven't seen it yet, you're definitely going to start seeing it this week. And again, look at the directions of these cards. You've got this stimulation of new ideas, right? The stimulation of new thought patterns. Perhaps you've decided to quit some things, like maybe smoking or drinking. Maybe you decided to quit some things and move towards a new lifestyle, right? All this starts in the mind, starts with your thoughts. It looks like these new thoughts that you're having that are being stimulated, because it may not be an entirely conscious process. It's moving away from behaviors, relationships, and scenarios that no longer serve you. Those are dying away. And that death is certainly being felt. This is causing a change, for sure. 5s represent change. This is Venus in Aquarius. So perhaps you're starting to shift your attention about the things that you feel emotional about, the things that you love, the things that inspire you, the things that you do gain inspiration from. Say, for example, I gain inspiration from reading. I'm passionate about the study of the occult, right? So you could probably find that my Venus is in a place that relates to that. So thinking about this Venus in Aquarius, perhaps your passions are starting to drift towards something that maybe you never thought that you would be a part of. Maybe you're moving into a direction that previously you would never see yourself being a part of it. The thoughts are changing, the ideas are changing. Both of these are swords, air sign, or air element. So this is all in the range and the realm of the thought process, Death of the old, birth of the new. Let's keep going a little bit. King Zeno says, wow, literally just dropped a tape called 2-6, Ego Death. Interesting. That's what time we're in. That is the energy of right now. Let's keep going. So this has popped out. Lover's card. This has popped out. So we've got 2 major arcana, 2 minor arcana. Heavy air sign energy, because like I said, these first 2 are ruled by Aquarius. This one's ruled by Gemini. Lover's card. So the way that I see the Lover's card is that the feminine represents the unconscious, the unseen, and the masculine represents the conscious mind, what is observed, the five senses. Of course, this angel presiding over them both represents that ultimate aspect behind everything else. You could even call it God. The angel is a representative of God. He's the emissary of God. Notice how the man looks to the woman. The conscious mind looks to the subconscious, the unconscious. And look how the woman looks up to the deity. The unconscious aspect of man and woman look up to the divine. This is the chain of events. So we could say that in a way, this changing of the thought process, the changing of ideas, the death of the old, the birth of the new, is something that is way deeper than you just making a decision today. Way deeper than you just making a decision about, oh, well, maybe I want to do something new. Perhaps this is a sign and a signal that a large part of your karmic work in a particular area is complete. What I mean is that if you were to see this life, this incarnation as a school, then you could say that this recent eclipse season has been a certain graduation, and you're moving on to the next level. Moving on to the next level. The dying of being in a grade 5 student results in the birth of a student of the next grade. Let's keep going. Indra says, beautiful, crystallization of God. Absolutely. You can see everything as a crystallization of God, everything in the manifest dimension as a crystallization of God, but at varying degrees, right? Varying degrees. More dense toward the bottom, more subtle towards the top. Useless Familiar says, perhaps one's higher self is guiding one to these new ideas. Absolutely. Absolutely. Indra says, bro, I definitely feel like I'm going on to the next level. I suppose I just haven't found my class yet. Oh, you're in it. You're in it. Rest assured. Perhaps you haven't recognized the signs and the symptoms of what class you're in. So next we've got the Devil card. This is a pretty stuffed sandwich here. Lettuce, tomatoes, onions, bell peppers, ham, turkey, pepperoni. There's a lot going on here. So the Devil card. We return again with this theme of addiction. This theme of addiction. This energy has popped up previously, and it seems that this is still here. Maybe some of you, like I said before, earlier I said about changing lifestyle. Maybe you wanted to embark on giving up smoking or drinking. Maybe you wanted to cut meat, right? Speaking of that sandwich. Maybe you wanted to begin working out, cutting sugar, cutting plastics, cutting out synthetic fat, whatever. Maybe you wanted to move to something new. Well, that is a wonderful thing, especially if your intention is right and solid for you. Rest assured, though, what it is that you're moving away from is not going to give up easily. Expect that this chain around your neck that you're trying to release yourself from is going to pull out every trick that it knows in order to keep you in a position where you are not in control of all of your decisions. Think about it. When there's something that you are addicted to, we may delude ourselves and say, oh, I can stop whenever I want. The truth of the matter is, when you do actually attempt to stop, it isn't long before the cravings return. So understand that this changing of thought, this new lifestyle that you're embarking upon, this new path that you're taking, understand that the old path isn't going to just lay down. It's going to be somewhat of a tug of war of willpower. So what do we do about that? What are we going to do about that? Wheel of Fortune. It's going to be a great idea for you to trust the things that you are working with. And when I say things, I mean if you are a religious or a spiritual person, trust the deities and the energies that you're working with. Trust the ancestors. Trust your higher self. Whatever it is that you're utilizing as an anchor to draw strength from, it's time for you to lean into that. Lean into that. The Christians call it faith. Whatever you want to call it and whatever category you belong to, that's going to be your lifeboat, your life raft, right? You know, when someone's stranded out at sea and they throw that lifesaver wheel thing out, well, that lifesaver for you is going to be the energies that you have decided that you're working with lately, right? So if the addictions, if the cravings are coming back strong, instead of fighting it with your pure will, just you by yourself, and maybe you can do that a few times, maybe you can do that more than a few times, but you've got other things that you're looking towards to invest your energy into, right? So instead of burning that energy trying to fight the good fight, and notice that we're up under 2 fire signs right now, Aries and Leo, instead of burning away your energy trying to fight the good fight, be sure to exercise your faith. Now notice that word, exercise your faith. Because faith is a power, it is a tool, it is a muscle that must be strengthened through usage. See, when you exercise your faith, what you're actually doing is you're tapping into your subconscious mind, you're tapping into your power. A lot of people are afraid to have faith in God or gods or angels or deities. A lot of people are afraid to have faith because they're afraid to have a feeling of not being in control. But what you must understand is that all of these gods, angels, demons, deities, spirits, ancestors, elementals, all of these forces are merely symbolic representations of different aspects of yourself, So in learning how to have faith and trust in the spirits that you've chosen to work with, because why the hell are you working with them if you don't trust them? The spirits that you've chosen to have faith in and work with, by trusting them and having faith in them, what you're actually doing is you're allowing yourself a channel for your unconscious powers to rise to the surface and affect you, your body chemistry, your thoughts, your environment, and your life path. The wheel of fortune. The wheel of fortune. Let me know how that resonates with you so far. Ramen Noodle says, I feel like what you were saying about changes earlier resonated a lot with me because these past couple of days, I felt like I was being walked all over by people and I knew, and now I need a change. Absolutely. You can only take so much of that before you refuse to continue. And some people express that refusal in an unhealthy way. Some express that refusal in an empowering way. It's up to you which channel that you're going to utilize. Amon Ra Centro says, I gave up smoking marijuana for 2 months and I valet. A guy tipped me with some bud and it went straight on the altar. Now, see, that's a nice way to do it. I'm sure that whatever forces that altar represents have responded back to you in kind. And if they have not, you can expect that to happen because that's how this game is played. Good on you. And Natural Mystic, I don't believe that Natural Mystic says, can you explain why cannabis is negative? I don't believe that he's saying that cannabis is negative. Everyone lives their own life and they have their own personal reasons. For example, my brother decided that he was going to stop smoking, not because it's evil and demonic, but hell, he's going through this process as well. The job that he has is very stable, but it isn't really going anywhere. So now he wants to go to get a bigger and a better job with better benefits, better pay, etc., etc. But in order to do that, you have to take a piss test or a mouth swab. And in that case, smoking marijuana would be evil because you would be wasting your time going to apply because you're going to pass that test. So whatever his reason is, That's going to be his reason. Useless Familiar says, me too. I'm not smoking until I get my certification, but I'm tempted to celebrate after I pass. Boom, that's the exact same scenario that my brother's talking about. King Zeno says, this that 2-6 ego death the tape was about, working on giving up smoking right now. It's not I choose to fast from it in smoking form. It's not I choose to fast from it in smoking form. T as well. And right on, Amon Ra Central, for anyone who's interested, if you remember, go into the comments of this video and paste a link for your tape if you have that link. That way anybody who's listening to this, viewing it later, can check it out in the comments. Kevin Wise, peace. Matthew Watson, peace, peace. Wayne M, peace. Wayne M says the problem is it affects REM sleep and spiritual effects, I think. Yeah, so when we talk about problem and benefit, it's all relative, right? It's all relative. Kevros SS God, peace, peace. Josh says, so crazy, this is honestly wild specific for me. I rarely ever join Travis's lives anymore. First time I do, in a minute, the moment I join, he lays the devil card down. That's how spirit works. I think that this is a rather complete reading. Let's do one more. One more card here just to kind of give us a little bit more, or to clarify if there's anything else that has been overlooked, right? So far we've got the dedication, the concentration to change our minds and move in a different direction. And either the cause or the result is a specific death of something, right? Whatever that is for you, that death is causing you to walk away and change your mind. Now look, here we've got that 5. That's a conflict. That's a conflict. Somebody won that battle. And this is probably the cause of that death. In any case, the energies that we're dealing with are certainly a subconscious energy, or we should say an energy that deals with the relationship between the conscious mind, the subconscious, and the unconscious, or the higher self. The culprit is addiction of some type, or some unhealthy behavior, some unhealthy choice, because it's a choice. It's an unhealthy behavior pattern, and it's not going to go without a fight. There's the fight right there, which you can walk away from successful for sure, but it's going to be an important thing to be aware of what's about to come here. And this is a karmic thing, dealing with this Wheel of Fortune. And one tip for you is to lean in on the faith and the trust of the entities that you're working with, whether they're ancestors, gods, demons, angels, whatever it is. It doesn't matter, because all of these things serve as symbolic anchors, symbolic figures that represent a specific type of power within you. Because of the conscious mind, and just look at this, the conscious mind doesn't look at the unconscious divine level. It looks to the subconscious. This is why you must use a symbol to access that God power. Look, Adam is looking at Eve, and Eve is looking at the holy angel, right? So whenever you're using a sigil, you're looking at that symbol, which taps into the subconscious. That's how you override Adam, by going straight to Eve. Look at the serpent. This is the subconscious mind. It's all here for you. We use sigils and symbols and entities, spirits, crystals, every tool. None are exempt. The conscious mind looks to them, and that is a way to bypass the conscious mind and allow the spirit power to work. So now is the time to lean on the forces that you are working with. Patchwork, peace, peace. Natural Mystic says, I stopped for a year and I go back whenever I want to. And even when I do, I still remember my dreams. I don't know why there's a trend going on about them saying I can dream better when I stopped. Different chemistry. Yeah, I mean, always with all this stuff, none of it is absolute. Like, that in itself shows a flaw in the thought process. Nothing is absolute. Everything that happens in this world It's relative. All all subjective all subjective situations are relative. I mean, like, when you smoke, there are a lot of people who report the loss of dreams and the loss of recall. That doesn't mean everybody. There's probably an equal amount of people who it doesn't affect. But what we see when it comes to the news or social media or just the word from the peanut gallery going down the grapevine, what we see is that the loudest story, the most sensational story, is the one that survives. That doesn't mean it's true. That just means what most people talk about. For example, what do most people say about tarot and spirits, right? Most people say, oh, it's evil, it's the devil, you're gonna go to hell. Is that the truth? Nope. That's just the loudest story. You feel me? Ramen Noodle says, shit, I'm smoking right now listening to this. Hey, do what you do. That's like saying that veganism is the only way. Josh says, Travis, what services do you offer other than readings? I do offer consultations, which you can email me about at travismagus777@gmail.com. I also offer classes about specific skills. Coming up this month very soon, I'm offering a class about developing psychic ability and how this can enhance your life and your spiritual practice in a very impressive way. We've already gone through that class, cyclomancy. We're doing a second round, and this round we're offering some new techniques and new things like that. So right now with my time, I'm focused on that class. I do offer consultations and also readings. Josh says, how much are consultations? At the time, they're $50. Anna Molly says, me too. Nice. All right, so, like I said, one more. Boom. Boom. As with every new level, and I often pull this card when it comes to dealing with new levels, right? Graduating, moving on to the next phase. This card often comes up in those kind of readings for me, and I understand. The Seven of Cups, you know, that's going to be the fixed Scorpio, so that's going to be Venus and Scorpio. What we're dealing with here is whenever we step into a new territory and we have a renewed sense of energy and enthusiasm, there arises a new threat of being deceived by the options. There's two different threats. Number one, having so many choices that you become paralyzed and don't make a choice. And number two, being so enthusiastic and excited that we don't really think things through, which makes it easy to be manipulated. So those are two things to look out for. As you've graduated, as you've reached the new level, as you've given up whatever thing it is that you felt like was hindering you, holding you back, as you have faith and look to your spirit, as you rise into this next level, be aware that new options are going to open up to you, and that's a wonderful thing. Don't be paralyzed, especially if you're a Gemini, right? You're going to have all these different options. Don't let that stop you, right? Again, have faith and trust your higher self. Think it through critically. This is a very air sign reading, so perhaps this is going to affect air sign people the most. And don't be misled, right? Trust your intuition, educate yourself when it comes to these new options, and make the right choice for the right reason. One way to be manipulated is to make a choice based off of your insecurity. What do I mean by that? Well, most people, it seems, choose a mate based on their insecurities, don't they? If there's someone who's grown up and they lack validation, they choose a partner who seems to validate them, only coming to realize that it was another insecurity, or I should say another trait developed out of unhealed childhood trauma. Don't be manipulated in making your choice. Think it through, utilize your intuition, educate yourself. You got a world opening up to you here very soon. Make sure that you keep your third eye clear so that you can see what's really going on. That's the collective reading. That's the collective reading. Let me know if that resonates with you. Let me know if it don't resonate. But that's the collective reading we have. We can probably say until the full moon. till the full moon. Oh, Anna Molly says another 7 card. Ah, check that out. Check that out. Another 7 card. So yeah, 1-7 dealing with mind and the thought process. The other 7 dealing with the emotions, feelings. So again, the 7s are the step just between going down the serious path of becoming a professional, right? Think of it as you graduated high school, you're about to go off to college, but in that little summer in between, not only are you making preparations, you're also kind of getting things out of your system, you know, maybe going to visit some of your loved ones in the city, hanging out with your friends for that last time or last few times. 7s kind of deal with that preparation phase before the next level of serious work. It also represents Venus and the nature, art side of things. So that's happening on one level of the mind. It's also happening on one level of the heart. That's where we are right now. And Amali says it's 7-11 here. Nice. Oh, she says I pulled 7 cards too. Cool, cool. Ramen Noodle 6. Oh no, my phone fixing to die. Well, at least you got the general reading. Go plug it up, man. Josh says, how should I prepare myself for a consultation with you? Send me an email, travismagus777@gmail.com, or leave a comment in this video so I can see it after we're done. And just know what it is that you're wanting a consultation about. You know, make your objective clear, like what exactly are we talking about here? I'm usually pretty good at getting under the surface of a person's ego. So if you're unable to do that, I'm sure I could help you do that. All right, all right. Jiren, peace. J Baldhail, peace, peace. All right, cool, cool. So, Useless Familiar, are you here? You will be the first personal reading, J Baldhail. And if you are here, excuse me, not J Baldhail, but Useless Familiar, send me your sun, your moon, and your ascendant, if you have those, and if you would like to share those. Your sun, your moon, and your ascendant. It's the remix to Ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen. Mama rolling that body, got every man in here wishing. Sipping on coke and rum. I'm like, so what? I'm drunk. It's the freaking weekend, baby. I'm about to have me some fun. Sniffing on coke and rum. It's the freaking weekend. Bounce, 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 bounce. Romeo, we got you coming up for number 3. So Romeo, just let me know what your top 3 are as well. Your sun, your moon, and your ascendant. I'm not sure what your YouTube name is, so, you know. Perhaps you'll have a way of verifying who you are. whip out the Robin Wood Tarot deck for this one. Framestar Films, peace, my bro. Was thinking about you earlier. We got to catch up. I want to hear about the trip that you've taken. All right, thank you, Romeo. Useless is number 1, so you're going to be number 3. Okay. Let's go. Gotta fix that light so the ring isn't shining on everything like that. Maybe if I turn it down, let's see. That's almost right. It's almost nice. Maybe up. Framestar says, sure thing, I'll email you. Awesome. Romeo says, Roger, my bro, appreciate it. Been watching your videos for years. Definitely helped me evolve as a person. Awesome. It's good to hear. All right. Give me just a second. And we will begin with the first personalized reading. All right, so here we are. This is familiar. Was this going to be a general or a specific? We've got Taurus Sun. We've got Aries Moon. And we've got Scorpio Ascendant. Ghost Panther, peace. Ghost Panther says, there's so much ass on social media. I'm glad I find myself in here time to time. That shit be addicting. I remember a Sufi once said, I got on Facebook for 20 minutes. I forgot I was a Sufi. Hey, man. If nothing else speaks to your humanity, that algorithm will. It's literally built to do so. The algorithm is built to grab you by the humanity and not let go. And not let go. Remember that. General. Nibs music, peace. Nibs says, missed my reading last week, fam. Fell asleep. Can I carry it over to this week? Absolutely. Just let me know your sun, your moon, and your ascendant. Let me know if you want this to be a general or a specific. You'll be number 4. And if anyone else would like to get a reading, just hit the Cash App link in the pinned comment in the chat. Let's begin. So, speaking generally here, 1, 2, 3. All right, shiny shine. Maybe something like that. Let's see here. We have this first card. So first, what we've got is the 4 of Swords. And this is a wonderful card of rest, a card of meditation. This is how we're going to begin this reading. Now, the 4 of Swords, the 4 being the cardinal sign of Libra. This is going to be Jupiter in Libra. If nothing else expands harmony and balance, meditation certainly does. Meditation certainly does. So it very well may be that you find yourself right now in a state where you are having success with your consistency and tapping into yourself. You're having success in consistency with being able to slow down and experience life. Experiencing life through the lens of you and not the lens of your 5 senses. There's a big difference, right? Most people are experiencing life through the 5 senses and through their memory only. In other words, they're running from ghosts or chasing missed dreams and constantly being tossed to and fro by what they see, by what they hear, and what tastes good, and what smells good, and what feels good, most definitely. But it looks like you have been able to slow down enough to appreciate that inner self. Let's see what else we've got. And by the way, as we do the reading, just let me know if this resonates or not. Due to this increase in being able to tap into yourself and really reside there, because most people, if they do it, it's only while they're asleep. But in making more of a habit to do this in your daily life, you're finding that, and by the way, this is a 10 of Wands, that's going to be Saturn in Sagittarius. You're finding that it can feel kind of oppressive. Now, see, the key word for this card is oppression. It can feel kind of oppressive doing the work while still having to live in the real world, in the world of the senses, right? There's a certain feeling of this spiritual path kind of being a heavy weight on your shoulders as you're doing your work, but also dealing with these people in these situations, right? It feels heavy. It feels heavy, but it's not enough to make you give up. And notice what this man's doing on this card. He's not just holding these wands for nothing. First of all, the 10 represents the completion of a cycle and stepping on to the next, right? The 2 through 10, well, the 1 through 10 of all these different suits can be seen as like a circle that goes around and around. So the 10, right after the 10 is the 1. He's moving towards the city. I want you to look carefully at this. He's carrying these wands to a destination. In other words, he's going through this feeling of oppression for a reason. Look how far he's got to carry those wands. Who in their right mind would do that? Somebody who knows that it's worth it. Somebody who can see beyond their current stress, their current pain, right? This is you, by the way. You're going through a phase right now that even though the outside world may not be perfect, it may not be complete heaven on earth, due to your meditation, due to your ability to go within and stay there, and I don't mean hide from the world, I mean to find the real you and connect with it on a regular basis, you're able to find the strength to endure. And this is a metaphor for life. But he's doing his work and carrying his load to the destination unwaveringly. It's called oppression because looking at it from the angle of the material world, it certainly feels that way. But symbolically, we know that the 10s represents the completion. Also, the wands being a card of passion, which is the word that I'm going to use for the fire element. the wands being a card of passion, that means, once again, you've completed a certain phase of your spiritual path. The tens represent the end of one and the beginning of the next. You've completed a certain phase. And here with the third card, we've got the Queen of Cups. Now this is the water of water. What do I mean by that? We're dealing with pure water element here. And this deals with emotions. This deals with reflectivity. And what I mean is the capacity to stop and look within. It is like looking through a glass, dimly. But it's also like a mirror, because what is in our manifested reality is a reflection of the different aspects of our inner reality. Now, this can also be a person in your life. This could also be a person who gives you the space to perform this work, or a person who can be seen as a partner with you on this work. You let me know how that part resonates with you, and we're going to continue with a few more cards. But so far, what it seems like is that you've began the process of going within, meditating, finding yourself, and that process of doing it regularly has put you on a certain stage of your journey where you have completed one level, but now it does kind of feel like a burden. It kind of feels like you're carrying a lot of weight on your shoulders, but the destination is clear, and there is no indication of you stopping or giving up. That's great. And it seems like there is someone in your life who is allowing you, or maybe you've met someone who kind of helps you have that space to develop, or perhaps you're becoming someone who is able to move through the world knowing that everything is a reflection of what's within. Lion Moet asks, are tarot cards evil? No disrespect. Well, I'll let you, I respect you enough to let you form your own opinion of this content. I don't know what your criteria for good and evil are, but never in my life have I ever seen pieces of paper that I could consider evil. But I'll let you be the judge. I'm sure that you're mature enough to figure it out with a little bit of research and experience. Useless Familiar says, yes, that is my girlfriend. She is not into the occult, but she does respect my path. Awesome. Awesome. I love it when these readings are, what's the word? Excruciatingly accurate. As far as I can tell, you know, I don't know you personally, so I'm literally looking at you through these cards and what they represent. Speaking of which, what we have next here is this. The Four of Pentacles. And it's easy to see this as a bad thing, but I don't necessarily see this card as a bad card. The Four of Pentacles represents the sun in Capricorn. And one thing Capricorns know how to do is to take care of business. They know how to get to the money. They know how to make ends meet. And this card can represent the presence of this energy in your life. The presence of knowing how to move through this world without lacking for something, right? Like I said, I don't know you. I don't know if you're balling out of control or if you're not. But one thing about this particular energy stream in your life right now, you're somebody that knows how to pay the bills, right? Now with this card, there is somewhat of a warning, right? And it's not, oh, you better be careful, but with that energy comes the tendency to close yourself off. Notice how he is enclosed behind these walls. There is a tendency to close yourself off from the outside world. And it looks like that is what you were doing at the beginning of this reading. You were going within. And all energies can go off into a positive or a negative direction. Positive or negative really depends on what your purpose and goal is. It looks like this might be the other side of that particular card. In fact, it is. Let me show you why. You've got the Four of Swords for the mind. You got the Four of Pentacles for the body. So in your journeys within, be mindful of how you do relate to the outside world. Big part of this energy, and right when I said that, I got 222 viewers present. Big part of this here is about reflection. It's about how you're seeing the world. So what I'm already seeing here is that a big part of you maneuvering through this next level of reality for yourself is to pay close attention to the mirror. Pay close attention to the mirror of your life. Because that mirror of your life is going to show you what's going on within you. It's going to show you what's going on with you. Doesn't even matter what's happening. Doesn't matter what people are doing. Doesn't matter what people are saying. Doesn't matter the type of people that appear in your life. Really, it's what you're seeing and what you're experiencing, how you're interpreting this. That's what it's all about. And just to kind of top it all off, here we have the Six of Cups. Another card that deals with this exchange of the inside and the outside. You can notice how the first character is giving a cup to the other character. Now the first character, you'll notice the cup is above him, and he's kind of set in front of a wall. That's very symbolic. The other character has the cup behind her, and the wall is much smaller. And just based off the symbology, what I'm getting from this is that we have one person that's giving to another. And it's not that the other person doesn't have, it's that they're almost a beginner. That they are somewhat fresh. And this person is genuinely giving from the kindness of their heart to help this other person grow and become. So I don't know if in your life this is the experience where you are the one who's giving the assistance, or if you're one who's receiving this. In either way, the exchange is most certainly happening. Most certainly happening. Useless Familiar says, yeah, I am very introverted. Perhaps I need to look at myself through others. Yes, yes, that's going to be the key for this current phase. It seems that all these cards here is about the mirroring of the inside and the outside. So be very mindful of that concept in your life right now. I think it's probably better that you got your reading today as opposed to last time, because I'm sure the message would have been different. But in this first card, we have the mirror of going within. The second card, we have the mirror of your life's journey. In this card, we have the mirror of one literally looking within themselves. That cup of water, often also seen as a mirror, Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups. We've got this mirror here of a person knowing how to make ends meet and accomplish things, but in doing so, they probably get too stuck within themselves. And then, of course, this mirror of the giving, the communication from one to another. Pay attention to that quality of your life, the mirroring aspect. Oh, I probably should have time-stamped this. I want to start making timestamps of when I do each reading, because I think that would make it easier for people who are watching. I'll start that from this point then. Amun-Ra Centro, thank you very much. I appreciate you. All right, so that concludes your reading, Useless Familiar. I hope that this resonated with you and gave you information and hopefully symbols that you can utilize to feel more confident about the direction that you're going. Thank you very much, Yusuf Familiar. Yusuf Familiar says, I got you, man. Thanks so much for the wisdom. Thank you. Thank you. Digital Alchemist, you're up next. Digital Alchemist, are you in the building? Are you present and accounted for? Digital Alchemist, where you at? Digital Alchemist, you are next. And if you're someone who would like to get a reading, just hit the link in my Cash App and you will be added to the list of who can have their energies interpreted. Digital Alchemist, you're here next. Let me know if you're here, Digital Alchemist, and we'll begin. If Digital Alchemist is not here, then we'll move to Romeo. Animali says it's pancake time. Still watching. Hell yeah. Pancake time. You cannot go wrong with that. Patchwork says, did you get the money I sent for a reading? Just wondering. Let me go and refresh my screen. Tell you what it's time for, though. It's time to pop open that ice cold monster. You already know. You can see. Vanilla ice, baby. Okay, I got you, Patchwork. Gotcha. All right, so let's see. Digital Alchemist is present. Awesome possum. Let me see you whip it. Cause we both are here to have big fun, so let it whip. Yeah. All right, so let's do it. Digital Alchemist, is this a general reading or is there a specific situation that you have in mind? Thank you, Animali. MC Maestro, peace. A little late to the party. Trying to beat me at my own game, I see. Well, it's not going to happen. Not in 25 years. Sagittarius. Oh, nice. It even looks like a Sagittarius sun. Virgo moon. Capricorn rising. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Hey, if you liked the video, please hit the like button because it helps by showing YouTube that this content is content that you enjoy watching. For sure. All right, so is this a general or is there a specific question you've got, Digital Alchemist? And yeah, let's go back to the Rider-Waite. See, Maestro says I'll try to do it before I'm 50. All right. Just whip it, baby. Whip it right. Bum, bum, whip it, baby. Work it all night. Cause we both are here to have good fun. So let it whip. Yeah. Just let it whip. Whip it, baby. Yeah, whip it right. Uh-oh. Can't deny that. Can't deny that. All right, well, Digital Alchemist, if you're not going to let me know if this is general or specific, we're going to go with general because you got the cards popping out already. And when certain things start popping out like that, it's only a matter of time. All right, let's do this. Boom. Boom. General. And as usual, just let me know as we go along if this is resonating with you or if it's not. Real-time reading. Almost like you're sitting at the table across from me or I'm sitting at the table across from you. Gosh, this light. All right, I think that's better. That works. MC Master says, I was singing that at work one time and no one knew what it was. And I was the youngest person there. Oh no, that's not good. That's not good. The old heads are starting to succumb to the knucklehead virus. All right, so the Ace of Swords. This represents that you are currently in a stage of your life where you're beginning to have some new thoughts about how the world works, some new ideas about yourself and what's important, where you want to focus the energies that you have these next coming years. There's an initiation of sorts on the mental plane for you. Just like the general reading before, there's new ideas coming through right now. There's new concepts that you have been introduced to, perhaps through your search for answers about why is life the way it is. New ideas and new concepts are starting to bubble up for you. And these are different than just passing thoughts that are happening anyways. This is something that's the beginning of a massive change in your life. That's what this Ace of Swords represents. The swords represent the thought process, traditionally the astral plane, but specifically the types of thoughts that you have on a recurring basis and how they affect your life. With this being an Ace of Swords, there's some new thoughts that some seem to have come out of nowhere, and some are so potent that you literally can't get rid of them. Thoughts become things, and with new thoughts mean that there will be new things in your life. Let's see how the rest plays out. Now, this person has showed up again from the first general reading. And remember that the Seven of Swords is the moon in Aquarius. So this definitely ties into the general reading that we had earlier. And I know that you were present for that. So let's take that and add on to it some more. It seems like you're carrying these new ideas in a new direction. You're going to be working on them, but I get the feeling that you're probably going to be working on them in private, in secret. In other words, this isn't necessarily something that you will be sharing with your friends and family. Hell, they might be ideas that you can't be sharing with friends and family. or even people online. This seems like some sort of new, like I said before, new direction that you're wanting to take your life into. Ramen Noodle has his phone plugged in. Let's go. So as we continue here, once again, this card was pulled from the initial reading. I think for certain, if you don't remember, I advise you to run the very first reading back, the general reading, because it's probably going to apply to you more than anyone else. And it very well may apply to those of you present who are of a Sagittarius sun sign. Hell, maybe even Virgo moons. Maybe even Virgo moons. Lily Rose, peace and greetings. Lily Rose says, hi, I'm new here. Do they accept super chat question readings? Yes, they do. If you're unable to do Cash App or PayPal, they will accept super chat question readings. But here, Digital Alchemist says 1000% spot on so far. Awesome, awesome. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. So we've got these new ideas. We got you moving in a new direction of your life. We've got this karmic turning of the wheel. Now, I mentioned before, this had a lot to do with faith. We're talking about the energies of Jupiter here. The Wheel of Fortune represents Jupiter, and speaking in Kabbalistic terms, Jupiter represents expansion. Jupiter is the benefactor, the one who blesses. And not even just Kabbalistically, even when you think about the Vedic system of planets. Guruve, Namaha, blesses, gives, expands. So these new ideas that you're having, these new thoughts, this new process that's going through your mind now, is one that is going in an expansive and outward direction. You are growing with these thoughts, not diminishing with these thoughts. We all know that there are thoughts and thought processes that cause us and our emotions in our lives to crumple up and diminish. For example, you focused on your enemy and constantly having to watch your back, looking for signs of an attack. These are constricting thoughts that tend to crush the spirit. You're going in the opposite direction here. This is expansive. This is expansive. And that's a beautiful thing when we deal with awareness and consciousness, right? There's a lot of people who are unaware. They're not very self-aware. They don't know that they're picking their nose in public or scratching their ass in public, right? They don't realize that because they lack awareness. But in this case, with you being able to expand awareness, you're also able to locate new opportunities and avoid threats that may have been undetected. Let's keep going. The Nine of Swords. This is a very mental reading here. All these swords here, right? Even the Wheel of Fortune is taking place in the clouds. You've got some thoughts that are troubling you. Of all these new thoughts, also touching back on the original reading, the first one, all these thoughts that you're having, some of them are in conflict with other thoughts and habit patterns that it's time to let go of. And if you're not focused diligently on this new path, then you are going to be allowing space for the previous thoughts, habits, and patterns to continue to conflict with what you've got going on. Here's why. The old you and the old patterns and the old thoughts that you were having previously, they have built in within the programming of them the seeds of some of these things that it's time to get away from. For example, just a brief example, this might not even be specific to you, but a brief example. Say, for example, you're someone that would like to be giving up smoking weed, so you're done with it. Yet, you still have a wardrobe full of weed leaves on your socks, weed t-shirts, you know what I'm saying, weed keychain, weed posters, a weed background screen on your phone. That's an example of the old you and the old life habit patterns having that thing ingrained into them. And unless you let all that go, unless you cut all that off, it's going to be at odds with the new thing that you're trying to do. So if you're someone who's trying to quit smoking, you're going to suffer if you continue on with your weed socks and your weed background phone wallpaper, right? So whatever these old you patterns that you're trying to escape from, be responsible and take accountability and know that it's time to let those things completely go. Not focus on fighting them, but release them and focus on the new. That's how this newness is going to grow. These new ideas and this new energy coming through for you specifically right now, this new energy coming in for you and other Sagittarius Sun and Virgo moons, it requires all of your attention. It requires all of your bandwidth. You remember back in the days of having to use the internet where if a bunch of people were on downloading movies and streaming games and all that other stuff, it would slow and lag up everyone else's connection. The movie would start skipping and chopping and freezing. The game would start lagging because there's so many people utilizing the bandwidth. Listen, for what you're downloading here, you need all the bandwidth, right? So go ahead and delete some of these programs completely. I know it's hard having to go in and delete certain pictures and videos, but sometimes it's for the better good. It's better to let those memories go, let those patterns and habits go. I feel like that was a complete reading. Let me know how you feel about this. Rama Noodle 6 says, so is this like shedding a new person like a snake sheds a new skin? I think that's a good metaphor way to look at it, yes. The Digital Alchemist says, yeah, that general reading was spot on for me. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Billy Rose, thank you. Okay, so I guess I could have taken a moment to clarify. The pinned comment has the link. The readings that I'm offering here are $30. You can either donate the rest of that amount, or I can go ahead and just give you a one-card reading. It'll be your choice. The Digital Alchemist says, I know I need to release the relationship I'm in and fully let go of my ex. It's taking up mental capacity. Exactly. Exactly. The bandwidth is full. And for the information that's coming through to you now, and again, this is all mental, by the way. The effect that this is having here is in your thoughts. All sorts, right? All sorts. You're going to need all that space to create what you've got coming. Any less is gonna block the download. I don't know how old you are, but have you ever had to wait for a download and watched the percentage? I'm talking about like Windows 2000, 98 and all that other stuff. You had to watch the download and the time and the minutes keep getting more and more and more. First it said it'll download in 20 minutes, then 30 minutes, then 45 minutes, then 2 hours. You ever had to wait for that kind of download? That's what's going to be happening here if you don't let go. Nazrawi Mekuria says, can you connect me with the devil? I want to sell my soul. Well, I need my grass cut and my bathroom cleaned. I don't know about the devil, but I'd like to pimp you out to clean my bathroom. Oh, he was blocked by Anna Molly. I'm trying to get my bathroom cleaned. Digital Alchemist says one more card. All right, we'll do that. We'll do that. Okay, so let's see if there's any information overlooked that might deal with the situation. Excellent. King of Cups. So we got the first glimpse of something emotional here. The King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups, elemental-wise, is air of water. Air of water. So what we have here, again, believe it or not, this is actually intellectual. We've got someone who, for lack of better words, we could say lives in their head. I don't know if you live in your head or not, but somebody who might go through life more so on the intellectual side. Now it's time to move into a space where you're coming to understand how to be intuitional and move with your feelings and your emotions. And that can be a little bit difficult for those of us who are in our heads mostly. But it looks like, you ever play those video games where you can add certain upgrades or certain things to your weapon? Like, say for example, you might have a gun and you can add a little fire chip to your gun, so when you shoot somebody they set on fire, right? Or if you add an electricity chip to your gun, when you shoot them they'll be electrocuted for a bit. Well, in this case, what it looks like is one of the attachments that you have in your favor right now is going to be understanding how to move emotionally. Most of this is taking place in the mind. So like I said, the bandwidth of your thoughts are going to be consumed by these new ideas, by these new concepts. So that space is completely taken. We as human beings are not one-dimensional creatures. We operate and intuit through different channels. So now may be a good time to intuit and move through your emotional space. You may find that there's an entirely new skill set waiting for you to master. King Zeno, peace. King Zeno says, is it too late for a personal reading, Trav? Just got home. It is not too late. There are 1, 2, 3 people before you. Cool. Cool beans. I like that. I like that. All right, so let me know if that gives you useful and appropriate data for you to continue with what you're doing. Or at least something to think about that will lead you to having more confidence and optimism in your next steps. I don't know what it is, even though I have all these different decks, I'm really resonating with the Rider White right now. And King Zeno, also send your sun, your moon, and your ascendant, if you have those and you're willing to share them for this reading. Let's see. Lily Rose, since we're only going to do one card for you, we'll go ahead and do yours here. Lily Rose asks, what are Tim's feelings towards me? I hardly know him, only interacted with him as his follower online. He's a Cancer sun. Let's see. So you being a Sagittarius, him being a Cancer, what are his feelings towards you? I hardly know him. Let's check this out. So, Lily Rose, check this out. Digital Alchemist says perfect reading. Thank you. Awesome. Romeo, you are next. So Lily Rose, here's what I got for you. Don't do it. We're dealing with the Tower card. Strong Mars energy. This is rapid and intense change. Now, it might not necessarily be a bad thing, but chances are, probability-wise, the type of change that might come with this may not be one that's going to feel very good. Now, maybe it's something that has to happen, right? This is a major arcana card, so it's going to be something karmic. right? It's going to be something karmic, which means that it's on your life path just based on your behavior right now, your mindset, your emotional set, how you take care of your body, right? How you take care of your spiritual journey. Just based on your current frequency, you very well may be attracting this type of experience to you. Now, again, like I said, it's not a bad thing. It's definitely going to be rapid, intense change. So, if you are mentally and emotionally prepared for that kind of thing, go for it. But speaking probability wise, this might not be what you want to do. You know the person better than I do, or maybe not, since you said you only met him online. But if this is the first card that I pulled for a one card reading for you, and there's a reason that you came here and a reason that you paid and stuck around for an answer, your answer is this: heavy Mars, immediate, drastic, intense change. You probably don't want that, but it's up to you. It's up to you. MC Maestro says the Rider White has meanings packed into colors, buildings, and accessories. Absolutely. And I recently found, and I'm going to do a video on this once I get all the information. I recently found, because I've seen like other pictures in the same style that Pamela Coleman Smith drew and painted in. And I'm like, wow, did she do other artwork? And I come to find that there is actually like a map of Tarot City. Like there's a map with all the different castles and people everywhere. Once I do the proper research and get a good picture of that, I'm gonna make a video about all the different places and see if that somehow has more correspondences and symbols. Josh says, hey Travis, do you have any videos on how to make an altar? I do. Just type in Travis Magus altar. I got multiple videos about altars. Probably the best one is going to be in my class, the Spirit Summoning Master System, where I teach about how to work with any and every spirit. Essentially, the altar is going to be your physical representative of your subconscious mind. So now all of a sudden you can see why it's so important to be mindful of what you place on your altar. It's the physical representative of your subconscious mind. Romeo, Romeo, where art thou? Romeo, you are being called for. This is your reading. It is time for you. Romeo, and just let me know if you want this to be general or a specific question. Romeo, Romeo. right, so Romeo wants a general. Okay, then we have Natural Mystic and Main Man. All right, Natural Mystic and Main Man after Patchwork. Cool. All right, so Romeo wants a general. Daniel Bautista says, what does the picture mean? It means Taurus. What does it mean to you? King J, peace. King J says, peace and blessings. Can I get a general reading? Absolutely. Just hit up the link in the pinned comment below and I'll put you on the list. Framestar Film says, a tarot map might well be the territory I seek to explore today. Thanks for that, Trav. Awesome, awesome. Because we know that the map is not the territory, but it really helps to know the map if you want to find the territory. But after I said that, I'm pretty sure that was the joke that you were implying. All right. So, Romeo, what we're going to do for you is I'm going to break out a deck that I haven't used in a while. I think that she's forgiven me. Not that I really did anything wrong, but you know how some energies can be. If you make them feel bad, then they take it personally. All right, so let's see. Romeo, we are doing Taurus Sun, Cancer Moon, which is ruled by the moon, so that should prove to be interesting. And Capricorn returns. We've had a lot of Capricorn today. Shit, we had a lot of Taurus today. All right, so let's see. And by the way, Natural Mystic and Main Man, go ahead and send me your sun, your moon, and your ascending. Okay, I see. I see. All right. So, this is going to be a general reading for Romeo, who is a Taurus, Sun, Cancer Moon, Capricorn, ascending. Let's begin. Bim, bam, boom. Let's see what we got here. All right, so to pop it off, we got the 8 of Swords, and what a dramatic display. It appears that a recurring thing that I'm seeing so far is those of us who get kind of stuck in our heads. But in your situation, it seems like you are very much in your head right now. Notice how her arms are tied, and it feels like whether she moves left or right, she's going to injure herself, right? So the body is tied. Body's out of the question. The eyes are closed. Completely inside, contemplating, thinking about things. And it almost feels like you're stuck in a situation. Stuck. Now, the 8 of Swords is a card that is represented by Jupiter and Gemini. And the crazy thing is, Gemini is a sign that does very well in moving in 2 directions. In other words, a sign that deals with communication, right? 2 minds syncing back and forth. With Jupiter and its concentrated expansive energy, it's almost as if that expansive energy is a bit conflicted in which way to go, right? We got Jupiter, the dual sign, and Jupiter's expansion, right? Not sure what direction to go. So it seems like there's a lot of being stuck in the mind here. And the stuckness is an illusion, of course. It's an illusion. But that's how it feels. Let's continue with the woke deck, as MC Maestro calls it. So here we have the Page of Cups. Page of Cups. Now, perhaps the reason for this feeling is because we're dealing with someone who is very much a material person. I mean, hell, Taurus, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. What I mean is that you are somebody who experiences life through the senses, right? You're ruled by Venus, so you like nice things. You like your environment to look good. You like to have nice things. You like to eat, right? And I don't mean some hot dogs and microwave mac and cheese. You like the good stuff, right? And so we're dealing with somebody who enjoys the experience of life through the senses. Good music, things that look good, smell good, taste good. But here's the thing. This is that type of person that is learning how to express and communicate through the emotional plane. Through the emotional plane. So now we're dealing with the feelings. Now those two elements go very well together. Earth and water. The page representing earth, cups representing water. They go very well. And perhaps being a Taurus, it explains why, or could explain why, there's somewhat of a mental dilemma. There's some idea going on that you're battling with, not sure what direction to turn in, because the level of life that you've mastered is that of experience through the body. So it seems that these conflicting thoughts very well may be due to certain emotional changes. Maybe you've met somebody, or maybe a current relation is changing. Or there could be something new on the way. You tell me. The Sun card represents vitality, new life, the birth of something. The Sun card represents energy, zest, and zeal for life's experiences. It very well may be that the birth of something completely brand new may be changing how you feel about life, which is causing you to ruminate on thoughts that you're not exactly sure how to solve. Let me know where we are. Walk hard, hard, when they say you're all done. Walk bold, bold, when they say you're not the one. I've been scorned and scant slandered and ridiculed too. Something every day my whole life through. I'm gonna have to learn the lyrics to that song again before I sing it. Romeo Wade said, I just had a daughter a few years ago. I've been dealing with baby mama issues, but I still take care of both of them. But I had to sacrifice money, career, and moving to make sure they were both happy. Okay. I had a feeling that there was a child involved, something going on with the child. That's usually what the Sun card represents. But I wanted to make sure before jumping to conclusions. So let's keep going here. King of Cups. King of Cups. So, in a way, this is kind of the combination of these two cards. And now that we can see the picture a little bit clearly, Usually, the court cards, the king, the queen, the knight, and the page, represent specific people. In this case, it could be specific people or specific scenarios. In this case, we're dealing with the air element, someone who is very intellectual, someone who is very much into their mind and their thought process, and expressing life through that way, is also learning how to navigate through the feelings and emotions of the situation. Romeo Wade says, now I'm back in the military and I'm moving in a few weeks away from my baby mama because as a fellow occultist, I've been going through certain initiations to get to embodying my higher self. Trust me, I understand. I understand 100%. And you know what, man? That is most definitely a Eight of Swords reality there, where there's a child involved and there is the other parent who's not on the same page, to say the least. It can be very difficult, and what a test indeed. What a test. But always remember, your child deserves the best version of you. So at the end of the day, make sure that you have the best version of you to give to your daughter. So the worst versions of our parents give us traumas that take a lifetime to heal, if we embark on a healing quest at all. But the best versions of our parents can help us to avoid generational curses. Remember that. Anyone who is a parent who has, baby mama, baby daddy who is not on the same page, to say the least. Okay, Natural Mystic, we can do Libra. Libra is fine. Libra is fine. Where the heck is my pen? Jessica says, everyone, my energy shifted to severe. There we go at the bots and the typos. I'm not even going to finish that. MC Master says, I got a deck with Lazarus Rising as the Eight of Swords. Interesting. Okay, well, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Romeo said that this definitely resonates. So, let's see what else we've got here. King of Cups, though, as I said, air sign expressing itself through the water element, right? So what we have here is a situation where an intellectual person is acclimating to a very emotional environment. Emotional does not always mean a negative thing, but it does mean that there are situations here that require emotional intelligence. Let's continue. So this looks very similar to this. And in a way, what I can see is there's a journey from this feeling to this feeling, right? A journey from this feeling to this feeling. Dealing with the Nine of Wands, what we're dealing with here is the moon in Sagittarius. The moon represents the mind itself and its changing nature, right? But Sagittarius is rather focused. And even though you might change your mind about a few things, there are some things that you stay focused on, that you stay dedicated to. And usually staying dedicated to something in your life means that you're going to face challenges and obstacles. And this is a card of a survivor. This is the card of someone who endures, right? There may be battles and conflicts. You might have gotten beat upside the head once or twice, but you're still there and you're still doing your thing. So perhaps that aspect of yourself is what you should remember and tap into when dealing with these conflicted thoughts, conflicted decisions. Because oftentimes when there's a conflict in our mind, we want to avoid the pain that one choice may cause. But you're no stranger to conflict, and you've survived and you will continue to survive. Let's do one more. Strength. Boom. Bottom line. Strength. Remember your strength. Remember the situations that you've been through that were worse than this. Remember the situations in your life that you've been through that were worse than this. The situations in your life that you did endure, not thinking or believing that you would have to, but you did. That's the strength that you've got to tap into to get through this. It is temporary, not permanent. The situation here is temporary, not permanent. As my dad said to me when I was in boot camp and I called on the phone, "Oh, I don't want to be here." What he said to me was, tough times don't last. Tough people do. And I never forgot that, because when he said that and I thought about it, it changed my entire perspective. And this is a card that represents that concept. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. It might be kind of different navigating through the emotional plane. Especially being someone who is of a very down-to-earth, practical nature, and also someone who is of a very intellectual, mental nature. It might be difficult to navigate with these particular types of emotions that are coming through. But remember what's at the center. Just like the center of our system, right? Remember who is at the center, what's at the center. And remember the fact that this ain't your first rodeo. And you have what it takes. All right, so that is the reading. That's the reading for Romeo, Taurus, Sun, Cancer, Moon, Capricorn, Rising. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know if that resonates with you, or if you didn't connect with it, or if you require any clarification on a specific card here. Is your man on the floor? If he ain't, let me know. Romeo Wade says, appreciate Trav. Amazing reading. Awesome. Cool beans. All right, so Nibs music. Nibs music. Are you here? I know you live across the ocean, so it's probably pretty late for you. I also know that you do stay up late from time to time with your work. But if you're present, now it's time. And I guess if you missed it, I'll have to do yours early next time. Big Brand, peace and greetings. Been a minute since I've seen you. Good to see you, however. Welcome. I hope that things are very well for you. I hope that things are very well for you. Boss lady. All right, Nibs. Nibs, let me know if you are present. If Nibs is not present, the next up we have Patchwork. If Nibs is not present, the next up we have Patchwork. Although Nibs, might be in the studio producing that Diddy diss track. Diddy diss track called Did He Do It? Did he do it? I mean, I guess I could do the reading and just have him check it out later, but I'd rather it be real time with the exchange of the person on the other end. I don't like to do pre-recorded readings. That's why I'm doing them live. But yeah, if you're not here, Nibs, then we're gonna go ahead to Patchwork. Oh, there we go. Awesome. Right on time. Right on time. Natural Mystic says, can we do my partner as a Taurus instead of mine? Thank you. Okay. We can do that, Natural Mystic. We can do that, Natural Mystic. All right, Nibs. Cool, cool. Nibs, if you have the information and you'd like to share it, let me get your sun, your moon, and your rising, and let me know if you want a general or if you have like a specific question. Big Brand says, good to see you too. And my Sagittarius moon appreciates that Nine of Wands perspective a second ago. Awesome. I like that card. One of my favorite cards. Okay. All right. General reading. Cool, cool. All right, so steamy combination here with the Cancer and the Leo. I once knew a guy who was a Cancer Leo cusp, and there actually is a certain designation for people who are cusps, like they have their own, thing. But the resulting element from a Leo Cancer cusp was a steam. And as far as I knew that person, he was very much steam. Ready to fight anybody. Ready to pop off. But I could also tell the Leo element, right? It was mostly the character that that person portrayed, because there was also a very caring side. Ace in the place. There we go. Ace in the place. Peace. Good to see you, Ace. Where the heck is my monster at? What? Two is a beginner and three is not. Three is a beginner and two is not. How does it go? Two is just not a winner. That's it. MC Maestro says zest. No, not zesty. He was very much not zesty. Interesting dude. He was affiliated with a certain group of a certain color, and I remember the color is blue, if you catch my drift. And I remember when I did a video talking about Nipsey Hussle's right after Nipsey Hussle passed, and he saw my. This is when I worked at that place I worked at. He was a coworker of mine. That's how I knew him. And he saw the Nipsey Hussle thumbnail. He pretty much said, "I'm gonna watch this video." And what you say don't check out. But what you say don't check out, I'm gonna have to see about you. This guy was always ready to fight anybody. He was ready to fight me over a damn thumbnail. But in any case, he watched the video and he said that it checks out. Everybody in these groups, never mind. This guy thought he was a top dog. All right, Nuru, peace. Tivitai, Peace. All right, here we go. Nibs music. This is going to be a general reading. 3 nobody remembers. That's it. Okay, thank you. 2 is not a winner, and 3 nobody remembers. Hey, there we go. All right, let's see what we got here. General reading. What does it take to be number 1? Interesting. So the very first card, being an interpretation of the energy going on in your life right now, will be the Devil card. And the Devil card is a card ruled by the sign Capricorn. Notice how, and I think I've seen the Devil card from this deck, but that's pretty cool. Notice how the claws are grasping that sword, and they're grasping it by the blade, not the hilt. What that designates, and also notice the Baphomet here, right? Obviously Baphomet, you got the male titty and the female titty. Notice how the claws here are grasping that sword, and we know that symbolically the sword represents the thought process, the mind's ability to do mind stuff, the decision-making process, the ahamkara, essentially. Notice how it's under the grasp of the devil. What that means is that there is something that has a grip on your mind. There is something that has a grip on your mind, and it may be affecting how you interpret balance. There's something that has a grip on your mind that may be affecting how you interpret balance in your life. In other words, there's something on your mind that is causing an imbalance. Now, that is also a card that we pulled earlier, which to me really signifies some type of addiction. Being very much dependent on something, and that dependency is based from the mental, from the, okay, maybe there's a mental addiction. Let's continue. The Knight of Wands. We're dealing with fire of fire. There is a lot of passion and energy that seems to have a mind of its own even. Maybe difficult to control. Maybe difficult to control. There's an intensity here. There's intense energy here. This is one of the most fiery fire cards in the entire deck. Now, this combination of this intense passion, this intense energy, right next to the Devil card, something having a grip on your thought process. Well, this can go in any kind of way. This could easily lead to a situation where things might not turn out in the best way. Let's continue. Tivetai says, wow, I just gave a girl a Baphomet sticker today for her birthday. She definitely has a grip on my mind. Indeed. So here we have the Prince of Cups. Prince of Cups. And what we're dealing with here is the air aspect of water. Now, in traditional decks, this is the King of Cups, who has also appeared today. The King of Cups in this situation is a man of leisure. This is an energy of a person who is pretty decently established in knowing what makes them feel good, what makes them feel comfortable, what gives them pleasure. This is a person that has pleasure within easy access. Maybe something comes to mind, maybe something is resonating, but it seems like when you put these together, right, we've got a person who has access to creature comforts and the pleasures of life very easily. You also have somebody with a sense of unbridled passion, a certain fiery expression. And we've also have the devil card representing that there is something that has a grip on the mind. Let me know if this resonates or not so far. In any case, we'll continue. Next, we've got the Fool card. There is an upside to this, and the upside represents an element of spontaneity. Even though there is a certain state of being locked and chained to something, and even though certain fiery energies that are being expressed may seem beyond control, and even though all around is escapism, there is a certain element of spontaneity here that, when focused, will allow you to literally leap out of this situation. A cosmic leap, if you will. Because just like on the traditional Rider-Waite tarot card of the devil, the chains around the neck of Adam and Eve are very loose. In fact, they could easily pull those chains from around their neck and leave. And this is the same situation with you. This is a situation that can most certainly be left behind, but you've got to want to. You've got to want to. And once you do want to, you'll see just how effortless it will appear to liberate yourself from the situation. I mean, after all, that same fiery passion and fiery energy is behind. They've even got a similar pose here. Let's continue. This card is also one of our reoccurring friends for the night, the Eight of Wands. Oh, excuse me, before it was the Nine of Wands. This is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is represented by Mercury in Sagittarius. So this is called swiftness. This card is called swiftness. And it's called swiftness because Mercury is a very quick card. When dealing with the thoughts, Mercury is the fastest moving. And when dealing with Sagittarius, we're dealing with being focused in a specific direction. So look, once these specific limitations are transcended, once these specific attachments are transcended, you will literally have the entire field to yourself. You will literally have any direction that you would like to go in, any direction that you put your mind to. We'll do one more. And I hope that this is really coming out clearly. We have the Moon card. So finally we have the Moon card. And this is a card ruled by Pisces. Now, as a water sun, you're no stranger to being a water sign individual. And with Cancer being a cardinal sign, meaning that you are one who is very good at initiating things, Pisces is the water sign that is mutable, which is the type that is very easy to change directions. So what that means is, really find within yourself this ability to move. Because if you stay stagnant, And still, this fiery passion that you have very well may become extinguished by these very available waters, right? King of Cups here. They can very well be extinguished by these very available waters. Utilize that element of surprise, that element of spontaneity within yourself to make a cosmic leap. And once you do leap out of the bonds of attachment, what you'll find is that you're now free to choose the direction that you want to go. And you have the support behind you to be able to do so. Because the moon is the card of Pisces, which represents a sign that knows how to dream, knows how to shift from one reality to another. You've got that on your side currently. Don't feel stuck. All right, Nibs music, let me know how that resonates with you. Let me know how that resonates with you. Indeed, indeed. Let's see. Next we have Patchwork. Patchwork, let me know if you're here. All right, King J, I got you. I got you up next, King J. Or I should say, in your due turn. Wayne Rios says, damn, bro, this reading described my situation to a T. Nice. To a T. I do enjoy this ceremonial magic deck. All right, well, Patchwork, you are going to be the next. You're going to be the next. And I know that you are Cancer Sun as well, Libra Moon, and Leo Ascendant. So perhaps there were qualities of that previous reading that resonates with you, seeing as to how you share a few of those signs. King Zeno, I got you. Nibs Music says, perfect, bro. Thank you. Awesome, awesome. All right, so we got Patchwork, then we got Natural Mystic's partner, then we got King Zeno, then we got King J. All right? All right. Doing good, doing good. How are y'all doing? Those of you who aren't specifically getting readings, how are y'all tonight? How them pancakes? Oh, you got lemon pancakes. I don't think I've ever had that before. Had blueberry, strawberry, banana, walnut, pecan. I don't think I've ever had lemon. Wayne Rio says it's crazy because I only came to see, not expecting a message at all, but you're most definitely the truth. Thank you and keep it up, bro. I appreciate that. Because there's something to be said about, you know, really reading from the spiritual level and not from the ego level. It's a difference, you know? But I appreciate that. Anna Molly says, apparently my 12-year-old loves them, says they are the best I ever made. That's what's up. Ace says, wonderful. I've been in my feet cooking all day and being mommy. Me time now. Cool, cool. Relax. Chill out. Let's see what we got here. So Patchwork, we're going to be doing a general reading. King Zeno says, all right. Bet, and all is well. Shout out to you for the live, Trav. Peace. So, Patchwork. Let's see where we are. What we have here in the beginning is the Ace of Cups. Pretty cool, huh? So you're still going through certain initiatory stages of not only a new type of emotional awakening, but also a new type of spiritual, psychic awakening. And if I'm not mistaken, I feel like I may have pulled this card for you before. The aces contain the essence of all the water signs specifically. So you being a Cancer, this is pretty great. You're really tapping into right now, the essence of your solar energy. The thing that is the seed of every Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. That intuitive sense. That intuitive understanding that fire signs, earth signs, and air signs may not have as developed. So it seems like you are really tapping into that at an origin level. And that could be due to your studies, and that can also be due to an improved developing relationship with yourself. The Ten of Pentacles. Now, the Ten of Pentacles represents Mercury in Virgo, which is its home, or we should say its domicile. Mercury and Virgo. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. And what we have here with the tens represent the completion of a phase and the beginning of the next. The pentacles represent the manifest dimension, the tangible dimension, things and possessions. So to put that all together, you're in a place where you're at home. You're at home in your sense of manifestation. Maybe you haven't manifested everything, but it seems that you are in a space where you feel very confident and very comfortable with how things are going right now. Like I said, this represents the stage of a certain sense of graduation from one and moving on to the next. Maybe you haven't felt this way before, and this way meaning comfortable in your surroundings, comfortable in what you're manifesting, comfortable in your work. But it seems like you are there now, or rapidly approaching there. Luxury Newman, peace. Ace says, well, I clearly need to pay attention tonight. Cancer's in the house. Current challenge, remaining calm while my neighbor is noisy and always blasting music, bumping, hammering. Oy vey. I know that one. Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. So, we have fire, right? We have an energy of being very high-spirited and learning how to channel that energy into the physical plane. How to channel inspiration, excitement, and passion into something physical, into something tangible. So look, perhaps this is the graduation. Perhaps you're starting to develop a new emotional relationship with yourself, which is changing how you manifest. Perhaps you've graduated from one level of lack and you're starting to learn truly how to manifest the physical life that you want, right? Because when it comes to manifestation, it isn't about the things on the outside. It's about what's on the inside and how it moves outward, right? We know that. Magic and manifestation has nothing to do with the incense, the crystals, the sigils and cards and books. Those things are supposed to cause a change within, right? So it starts within, this emotional, intuitive state. That must change and shift first. And once it does, the outside starts to mirror the inside. Just like looking at your reflection on the surface of a water. The outside is now starting to reflect your inside. And now that you've noticed this and taken hold of this, and you're really utilizing this skill, the knight representing the fire element and the pentacles representing the earth element, you're learning how to channel your spiritual energy, fire, into the manifest dimension, earth. You're learning how to turn your fire into earth. That's where you are right now. And that's been caused by a shift in how you feel about yourself and how you see the world around you. Patchwork says, absolutely. Cool, let's keep going. This card has appeared for us before. The Six of Cups. And it's interesting because we've got a lot of water energy and earth energy. Both feminine energies, you know, dealing with the elements. The air and the fire is masculine. The water and earth is feminine. What that means is receptive, pulling towards, drawing towards. And in this case, with the Six of Cups, we're dealing with the sun in Scorpio, right? Another water sign. Like I said, the ace is going to contain the influences of all the water signs. The Six of Cups means that there is a transfer, a communication between two levels. Now, this can be literally a mentor or a teacher or somebody transferring knowledge and data and wisdom to you. This could be some romantic relationship where you may be transferring feelings and love and care to another person. This may be internal, where your subconscious mind is transferring to your conscious mind certain information and data, lessons, knowledge, and wisdom. Either way, there's a crucial communication that is taking place right now. I mean, obviously, right? Because what we just talked about was you're learning how to turn your inside world into your outside world. There's a crucial conversation happening. Luxury Newman says, that's hitting for me, Trav. I've been working on bringing and solidifying all this energetic motion into physical substance. Cool. That's literally what this card means. Let's keep going. Love that chicken from Popeyes. Here we go. Here we go. Ace of Wands. So look. Whatever you're doing, and I feel like I said this to you last time, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Because see, this is the stick that stirs the entire bowl of soup, the entire cauldron, right? The Ace of Wands being that initiatory impulse that contains the essence of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. All of those signs are Aries is the starter, Leo is the star, and Sagittarius is the sniper. So taking these energies of the one who initiates, the one who shines, and the one who focuses the laser, that's the result of this whole thing, this whole exchange. You're going to become laser focused at transmutation, at alchemy. You are becoming someone who knows how to turn the world into their feelings and to turn the feelings into the world. That's the great work. That's the great work. Whatever you're doing right now, it seems like you are on the path. You are on the path. You are certainly taking steps on completing this great work, right? It's not all about memorizing certain words and phrases. This is an energetic process, right? I don't know where you stand. I don't know what exactly you're going through, but whatever you're doing, and you know what it is, whatever it is that you're doing, keep doing it, because you're on the right track. There's some people that buy all the books off of Amazon. Hell, there's some people that get the secret books inherited from others. But that don't amount to a hill of beans, because most of those people don't read those books. And of the few who do read them, even fewer see past the intellectual part and into the spiritual part. So it doesn't matter about the books or the crystals for that matter, or any other external paraphernalia. What matters is being able to do this, right? To be able to transmute what's on the inside into what's on the outside, and to recognize what on the outside corresponds with the inside, and to make the necessary appropriate changes. That's what I'm getting for this. Let me know if that resonates with you. Let me know if that's what you're actually doing, and if it's working out for you. Let me know. That's a nice combination of cards right there. That's a nice combination of cards right there. And look how, I mean, just about everyone here is giving, right? See, the hand is giving that. This one's giving this. This one's giving. This one's giving. Here you can't really see their hands, but this looks like the result of a lot of giving. That's pretty cool. Oh, yeah, I see. MC Maestro. OMG, it's giving. See, that's not my vernacular. I try not to adopt too many of the internet lingos. Some of it sounds kind of cheesy, especially that one. It's giving. But, you know, whatever. Cool beans. All right, so Patchwork says that was spot on. Awesome, awesome. Success. Success. Now take that and do what you will. Hopefully it provides a certain level of confidence in the direction of your move. Certainly it should give you a sense of confirmation, validation even, of what's been on your mind. Because really, I'm just reading the energy through these cards. But since it's your life, you've already been feeling it, right? So hopefully this should just serve as a confirmation to what you've already been seeing clearly. So next we have Natural Mystic, or should I say Natural Mystic's partner. And you gave me quite a few signs earlier. You said you were a Libra, but then you said Taurus Sun and something Moon. Let me know. Taurus, Libra, Virgo. Natural Mystic. Natural Mystic. It's giving. I don't remember the last time I had a pot pie. Mama rolling that body, got every man in here wishing, sniffing on coke and rum. I'm like, so what? I'm drunk. It's the freaking weekend, baby. I'm about to have me some fun. It's the remix to Ignition. I don't even think I heard the original. It's the remix to Ignition. All right. Where we at? Where we at? Natural Mystic, are you still with me? Anna Molly says, I food comaed the kids straight to bed. Too full to fight. Nice. Too full to fight. Resistance is futile. Everything works out exactly as I planned it. You'll notice that you're too full to fight. Just as I had planned. That delicious meal was intended to incapacitate you, and now I shall send you to the astral realm. Any last words? There isn't plot armor thick enough to save you from this predicament. Unless, of course, one of you is Batman. Natural Mystic. Natural Mystic. If Natural Mystic is not present, then we got King Zeno. King Zeno. If we don't have Natural Mystic, then we got King Zeno. Wait a minute now. Uh-oh. Underlay, mommy. Uh-oh. If the head right, Nellie's there every night. Every night? Oh, why not, right? Underlay, mommy. Uh-oh. What's poppin' tonight? Underlay, mommy. Uh-oh. The head right, Billy there every night. Underlay, mommy. Uh-oh. Remember being a kid and not knowing what any of that meant? Ah, those were the days. All right, Natural Mystic or King Zeno. Natural Mystic or King Zeno. Natural Mystic going once, going twice. We got King Zeno ready. Up to bat. Batter up. The whole Nelly discography. You can thank Fortnite for that. Why does Fortnite have all these Nelly songs specifically? All right, King Zeno it is. King Zeno, Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Moon. Lots of Capricorn tonight. Virgo rising. Lots of Capricorn tonight. I wonder what the dealio. What the dealio? Okay. All right, King Zeno. This was a general reading for you, correct? General reading for you, correct? I believe so. Well, going based on the chat, it's a little bit slow. Perhaps there's a bit of a lag. We were having technical difficulties last time. All right, he says, yeah, general. All right, let's do it. So, Capricorn Sun, Virgo Moon. He says, and a 6th house stellium, if that helps. Hey, why not? Christopher Watson, peace. Indeed, I am bussing out all the hits. If you wanna go and take a ride with me, with 3 down in the Bentley, oh, why must I feel? Hey, must be the money. All right, let's begin. Capricorn, in this time and space, the Lover's card. The Lover's card. So we're seeing a lot of recurring characters from previous reads. That must mean the energy is pretty strong with these particular influences. Right now we have you looking into this whole process of just how does the subconscious mind work with the conscious mind, and what this all has to do with God and spirits and deities. You're really starting to put the pieces together with how that process works with you. And that's a personal journey for each of us to figure out exactly how that process works with us. And it looks like you have taken that search seriously, because truly the search for God is not anywhere outside of the body. The search for God is not anywhere outside of the body. That would be a waste of time. The search for God is an internal search, a subjective search. It's true that the objective world and everything that we experience is God, for sure. But even as the skin cell cannot fathom the entire body, or the liver cell, or a blood cell for that matter, cannot fathom the entire body, likewise, it's very difficult for us to look God in the face and say hello. So we look to the tools that we have, and it seems like you have engaged upon that particular search. This card has also appeared. That search does this to all of us who begin that search. This card is called Oppression. And by the way, this is a card that represents Gemini. This card called Oppression, the Ten of Wands, is represented by Saturn, the disciplinarian, and Sagittarius, the archer, the focused laser, the sniper. And what this card represents being a 10, again, like I said, there's a lot of themes here that are coming up, occurring to everyone's readings so far. And I try to make it very clear that I'm shuffling these cards and even switching between decks so you see for yourself. There's a heavy burden on your shoulders of taking the spiritual path seriously. There's a heavy burden of that path because nature is designed for natural processes. Mate, feed, kill, repeat. That is the process of the denizens of Prakriti. Mate, feed, kill, repeat. Or some would say, fuck, fight, feed, flee. That's the process of all these living things. But to take the spiritual path, that's taking a completely different algorithm. And so it seems very difficult in comparison to everything else. It almost feels like the world works against you. It almost feels like people and nature and situations all seem to be working against you because you're taking that alternate path. But here's the thing, because you've seen what's real and what's important behind the veil, because you've witnessed it, it's impossible to go back. You remember in the Matrix when Cypher woke and he decided that he wanted to betray the team, but even still, he knew the steak he was eating wasn't real. He knew that nothing was real and he couldn't go back. He was angry that he woke. But see, in this case, you made the choice. And once you've seen what's real, you can't go back to the algorithm of the illusion of Prakriti. So it feels like a burden carrying the knowledge of spirit. I mean, think of what happened in the allegorical story of Adam and Eve. God told them that if you eat from this tree, you will have the knowledge of good and evil. And that knowledge feels like a burden as you walk through the garden. The garden becomes a wilderness when you have that knowledge. Listen to that. The garden. See, Adam and Eve were still in the same place, but their perspective changed. Now that they could see it for what it was no longer the perfect, beautiful garden. It became the wilderness. It's the same thing that we go through. And by the way, here's Adam and Eve, right? Look at this. I love how this plays out. So you've eaten the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. But you're not going to give up. You already know what's real and what's an illusion, so you're sticking to the path, and that's what's awesome. You're sticking to the path. You can see the destination, even though it's a burden, and it may feel like oppression from a certain angle. You're sticking to the path, and you're going to continue the course. You've already made that decision. I mean, hell, what are you going to go back to, right? Everything that I knew of as entertaining and fulfilling before this wasn't actually fulfilling. So here we have the Six of Wands. And as you can see, this is a pretty positive card. The Six of Wands represents Jupiter in all of its expansive kingship in Leo, the center of attention. What we have here is someone who is the center of attention and deserves to be the center of attention. This is a leader. This is a true celebrity, not someone who's made famous because they bought media attention, but someone who is respected across the board for their deeds and their character and their heart. Someone who deserves praise and honor and glory. That's what happens when you learn how to balance and manage walking the spiritual path in the mundane world. When you learn how to balance that, it's inevitable that you will attract good favor because you become a blessing to everyone and everything around you. And it looks like that's what's happening with your particular path. As you continue to look within and understand how the subconscious works, how the unconscious works, how God, or whatever you call spirit or whatever, how that works within your personal framework of reality, right? As long as you continue that path and you endure the challenges of walking through this world as someone awake while everyone else is asleep, you continue that path and you're going to soon learn how to balance it, and not balance it just to where you're able to survive, but even becoming celebrated. Not that this is about ego and you want to be celebrated, but to be someone that is actually able to give and to help others. Let me know how that feels so far. Temperance. This is a card that represents Sagittarius. We've got two major arcana, so this is a big deal, right? This is something that is really stirring behind the subconscious mind. See this angel here in the clouds? These two are connected. These two are related. These two are on the same team, same company, same branding. Temperance has a lot to do with, again, learning how to balance and manage different things. Notice how he's mixing up these cups, almost like a bartender. When you think about a bartender has to deal with a lot of different people, some sober, some drunk, some being themselves and some wearing a mask, some full of drama and some simply there to have a good time. But all the bartender has to worry about really is his skill in mixing the different drinks and doing a good job at it. This is an alchemist, and just like the previous reading, a massive part of success on the spiritual path is knowing how to be an alchemist, a spirit bartender, knowing how to mix the right drinks. In other words, knowing how to turn the watery plane of the emotions and the inner world, knowing how to transmute that into something tangible, something real. Have you ever done magic in a ritual and nothing happened? That's not magic. Brother Panic had a saying once. He said that if you sit here and you do a ritual and you burn sage, you burn a candle, da-da-da-da-da, and nothing happens, that's not magic. This card is about knowing how to mix the right types of energies to get a specific result. And it seems that you are learning how to do that. And if you continue with what you're doing, you for sure are going to know how to mix drinks for other people, if that's what you desire. Let's pull one more. Last Benefield. Peace. King Zeno says, wow, definitely hitting. My surroundings definitely don't seemingly align with my path, but I know every season is for a reason. Every season is for a reason. Let's do one more, shall we? Last Benefield in the building. Yin yang in this thing. Hey, must be the money. Let's do one more, shall we? If you want to go and take a ride with me, one more. Three of Hearts. The energy of the Three of Hearts has everything to do, Three of Hearts. This is Three of Swords. The Three of Swords has everything to do with Saturn in Libra. And I've said before that this card is a representation of strict decision making, strict judgment, making a decision without taking into consideration the heart, without taking into consideration the feelings, or perhaps the how it would affect someone else emotionally. This could also mean that that is a situation that happened to you. Perhaps there have been decisions made in your life, either recently or long ago, right? Long ago that affected your development into who you are now. Either that or recently. Perhaps the decision was made that didn't take into consideration your feelings, or maybe you made a decision that didn't take into consideration someone else's feelings. And maybe that is something that should be considered in light of this information. Maybe think about that decision in light of being a spiritual bartender, in light of being somebody who knows how to manage properly the different energies to create the appropriate result. Perhaps the situation could have been handled in a more useful and appropriate manner. Maybe now you've learned better. Or perhaps maybe now you've learned how to deal with that, depending if you made the decision or if it was made towards you. King Zeno says, and really appreciate this, that earlier part was very much confirmation and kind of feel no longer delusional. Awesome. Awesome. All right, so 7S. Oh, I was gonna read that. 7S. He took the time to write that whole comment to himself. Oh, talking about these readings send unclean spirits. Well, does that explain how you got here? Does that explain how your unclean comment was stanking up the comment section and got sliced away immediately? Maestro says, 7, get your ass on, bruh. Find another stream. You ain't got no choice now. Cool beans. All right, so we just did King Zeno. King Zeno, I hope that this has helped. He said that this was confirmation and kind of makes you feel no longer delusional. Awesome, awesome. So hopefully that puts you in a mind state where you can get the work done, right? And keep that, anchor it in. Find a way to make a move on that feeling immediately, right? Because, I prefer to make people feel good, but that's not the point, right? The point is to make a real change. And that starts with taking that good feeling and figuring out what the next move is going to be. What's the next move towards what you want? Because here's what I know. What I know is that every move, every thought, every feeling, everything that we experience is going to plant a seed, right? It's going to be a seed. So if you make a move based on fear, you're planting a seed of fear, and it can only grow fear plants. If you make a move or a thought, or you start feeling a certain way based out of fear, you can only grow more fear. But if you make a move or have a thought or a feeling based on confidence, based on trust, based on optimism, you're gonna plant those seeds and grow more of that in your garden. So take what you get here and make a move. Make a move so that you can plant that seed. Peace, WT. WT says, hey Trav, just caught this live. My father was a bartender and I was thinking about that just last night at this time. So it was great to hear that about the balancing this and mortal life. Awesome, awesome, bro. King Zeno says, yep, wow. An ex returned pregnant and I set boundaries of understanding of no future. She's actually unconsciously helping me do shadow work, who I was once a bad boyfriend too. And yes, it helped. The chat is lagging. Okay, cool. Wow, hell yeah, that's the 3 of Swords for sure. Ex returned pregnant and I set boundaries of understanding of no future. Definitely a 3 of Swords. All right, glad to be of assistance. King J, are you still here? King J. just me, or did the past 30 days fly by? Like, yeah, we all know that time is moving super fast right now, but is it just me, or did the past 30 days zoom by? Maybe it's just me. But it kind of seems like the last month specifically, I blinked and it was gone. Like, golly. I don't know if this is gonna be increasing like that, but I just looked at my calendar and realized what day it was. I paid for Midjourney a month ago and didn't even use it, maybe like once or twice, and it is time for another payment. Man. All right, well anyways, we're going to do King J, and I guess that will be the end of tonight's readings. We're going to do King J and then we'll wrap it up after that. So, King J says, sorry, but I don't know my sun and moon rising. I'm a Virgo. Okay, yeah. So you're a Virgo. All right. If somebody wants to help me out, you can go to what's that website called? Where you type in free natal chart, and you just put in your date, and that'll give you your rising. King Zeno says, didn't realize on my other phone I can't chat from. I've had the the video 5 minutes behind. That breakdown was great, Trev. Awesome. Yeah, I was wondering. But it's all good. I understand. I like to have the feedback, but I mean, obviously I can do it without it. But in any case, Christopher Watson says, is there a spiritual practice that determines a soul birth date? I don't connect with my date and sign, possibly stolen at birth. Maybe I can email you. There is a practice. I think it's called recursive astrology. There are some people who are you got to know something, right? You got to know something. But there are some people who can take what little bit of info you have and track back to the date. It is difficult because it's something that like you have to be experienced astrologer for many years of experience, because it relies heavily on intuition. Not that it's a made up thing, but there are so many slots of time that you could fit into. You know what I'm saying? It would take somebody who's familiar with all those slots of time. I believe it's called recursive astrology. It's something because, going back. But there are a few people who do it, and I know there's some people who stopped doing it because there's so many requests for it. It's overwhelming, regardless of how much they're charging for it. So yeah, it is possible. Do I know anyone who does it? Maybe, but maybe not. All right, so listen, I'll give you just a minute, King J, or anybody else who wants to help him out. If you just go to Google and type in natal chart, Natal, natal chart, it'll take you to a website where you can put in your date and your time, and it'll tell you what your sun, your moon, and your ascendant is. That's all you need. But if not, if you don't want to do all that, that's fine. We can just go through with your sun sign. We can do that. Eight, 9, and 10 of Pentacles. That's what a Virgo would be. So let's see, what's the time frame of 8, 9, and 10 of discs. Looking through my deck here. 8, 9, and 10. Swords, cups, star, 10. Nope, that's wands. It's the remix to Ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen. Mama rolling that body, got every man in your wishing. Sipping on coke and rum. I'm like, so what? I'm drunk. It's the freaking weekend, baby. I'm about to have me some fun. Bounce, bounce. Okay, so 8 of discs. That is August 23rd through September 1st. Okay, so you wouldn't be first decking, you'd be second decking, Virgo. Nine of discs, September 2nd through September 11th. Nope, you'd be third decking, Virgo. So that would be the 10 of discs. Where you at? Where you at? There it is, 10 of discs. September 12th through September 22nd. All right. All right, we can do Virgo, but just let me know if you want a general reading or if you have a specific question. I'm becoming very aware of subconscious influences. Like I've been having a strong craving for fried chicken, and I realized I saw 2 cartoons earlier today, one about Chick-fil-A and one about KFC. You ever see the animation from the production company called Meat Canyon? They just released a new one today about the Chick-fil-A sauce meme girl. Those cartoons are always weirdly creepy and unsettling. That's why I like them. But yeah, they did one with the Chick-fil-A girl and one with Colonel Sanders. And hours later, I want chicken, but I'm able to trace back the impulse, right? And that's how it works. When you see, smell, taste, or hear something, it plants a seed, and sometimes it doesn't pop up until hours later, if not days later. That's why it's so important to be careful of what you accept into your awareness. All right, peace out, WVT. Enjoy. All right, so career reading. We'll do that. Career reading. Maestro says there was a season of hell pizza commercials. Oh, hella. There was a season of hella pizza commercials. My homeboy bought pizza nearly every day for a month and told me he has control over his mind. Right. Tivetai says meat cannon is great, lol. And yes, strengthening the critical divide faculty is essential these days. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So here we go. Last reading of the night. And this one is for career. This one is for career. Easy does it. Easy does it. So, he tried to retract his comment, but I had already banned him. All right, so here we go. This one is based on career. I love that Virgo card. So, in the realm of career, here's what we have to begin with this reading. Well, hard work certainly pays off. And this is something that you know intuitively, but have yet to fully experience the payoff of this particular hard work that you're working on. As you can see from this guy, he's done his work of planting these crops. And he knows that he's going to reap what he's sown. He knows that. But sometimes when you're waiting, sometimes when it hasn't shown up yet, you really have to exercise that faith that we talked about earlier in order to keep going in a happy state of mind. He knows that his work will bear fruit. That's why he embarked upon this quest in the first place. And by he, I mean you. You know that what you've put your mind to and what you started is gonna work. You know it is. You just haven't fully seen it pay off yet, but you wouldn't have started this process. This guy here wouldn't have planted these seeds and watered them and tended to them every day if he didn't believe, and not even believe, but know it was going to work out. That's the whole point of doing this. And that's the energy of this card. We're dealing with the Seven of Pentacles, and this is the energy of Saturn in Taurus. There's discipline here, discipline and hard work. Saturn and Taurus, you can think about the bull with the yoke around his neck pulling, what do you call the thing that they have around an ox's neck and it digs into the ground as they move forward? I mean, we've got giant machines to do that now, but in any case, that's the energy of this card. You're breaking up the soil to plant new seeds, a ploy. Thank you, Lance Benefield. You're digging up the earth to plant new seeds, and you've been nurturing that. Like, this is past the planting stage. This is the in progress stage. So you're at that state where you're in progress of doing this work. Strength. That's what's being called for right now. For you to really tap into the strength of patience, of diligence, right? Of seriousness. And a seeing before it is visible. You hear what I'm saying? The strength of being able to see something before anyone else can see it. It's called a vision. See, it's a vision that gets us through. It's a vision that gets us to where we're trying to go. Not a sight, but a vision. And a vision is hard for people who are not very refined to see. What do I mean by that? I mean, if you're someone who's starting a business, if you're someone who's trying to embark upon an artistic career, whether it's music or visual art or culinary art or any type of art or any type of business, sometimes you're the only one that sees it. Sometimes the people around you, the people you love and trust, sometimes they don't see it. Sometimes they don't even believe in it. But you got to have that strength of being able to see the flower before it blossoms. You got to have the ability to trust that your work is not in vain, but in fact, all going in the right direction. It's a certain level of faith. And that is your strength that's being called for right now. It's being called for right now. This card represents Leo. And it's that strength that's at the center, it's at the main stage of your life right now. Judgment. Now, this card represents spiritual fire. And some people will say that it represents Pluto, right? I recently learned that the three mother letters that represent the cards, the Fool, the Hanged Man, and Judgment, traditionally represent the spiritual elements, the Fool representing air, the Hanged Man representing water, and the Judgment representing fire, has been modified in light of the new planets that were discovered. So the Fool corresponds with Uranus, the Hanged Man corresponds with Neptune, and Judgment corresponds with Pluto. Either way, the meanings remain the same. Pluto is a planet of transformation. Transformation. Some would even say a death and a resurrection. And that's what's happening here. You maintain your strength and your focus and your faith in what you've been placing your time and effort into, your work. Keep going. Because what you're going through right now is a process of death and rebirth, a process of resurrection, a process of the phoenix rising from what others thought would destroy it. This is where you are right now. And you know it, you feel it, trust it, continue. Man, special shout out to Anna Molly, right? Round of applause. Thank you, Anna Molly. Anna Molly has run your numbers, King J. She says that you are a Virgo sun, Aquarius moon, Virgo ascendant. So if you're going to be diving into this in the future, if you're going to continue this path of spiritual stuff, you might want to write that down somewhere. You're a Virgo sun, Aquarius moon, Virgo ascendant. So King J, let me know if that resonates with you so far. Let me know if that resonates with you so far. So you've been working hard. You got a vision. You're probably the only one that has that vision. You're probably being tested every day by somebody or multiple somebodies who don't see eye to eye in what you've been investing your energy into. But that's all right. You don't need anybody to co-sign a vision that only you see. Only you see it for a reason. When it comes to having a vision, here's one thing that I learned. The people who don't see it, they're not supposed to see it. You can deal with them after the fact, right? But the ones who see it with you are usually the ones who help you, whether it's direct help or emotional help, right? Support. But the ones who see the vision, those are the ones who are there to support you. And if there is no one else to see the vision, then that means this is a lesson for you to build up your own strength to be able to go through with this resurrection, right? Queen of Pentacles. This is the earth, the water of earth. The water of earth. So we're looking at, and notice how all three of these characters here are looking downward. They're looking downward at their task at hand. They're introspective, based on what's happening in their environment. So the worker here, the farmer, he's looking down at his crops, but he's in his head, right? He's in his head. Notice how the strength card, the woman is looking down at that lion, but she's looking into her own heart, into her own intuition. How else are you going to gently open the mouth of a lion without knowing something that nobody else knows? Someone pointed out previously, who was it? Ardquark, I believe, who said that there's only 3 characters with the lemniscate above their heads. You can see that she has that above her head. The maestro here has it above his head. And I wonder if anyone knows the 3rd person in all these 78 cards who has the lemniscate or the infinity symbol above their head. Who's that 3rd person? So, in any case, the Queen of Pentacles represents, ultimately, there is an energy here of you coming into an understanding of the world around you through your emotions. You're using your emotions and how you feel to interpret the world around you. In a way, it's almost as if you're using your environment as a reflection of you, and that might be why you sometimes feel a bit challenged or conflicted when the crops haven't fully grown yet. That might be the reason why you feel a bit conflicted and challenged when you know that you started on this venture and you know it's going to produce fruit, but you still kind of feel sometimes, you wonder, you question, is this worth my time? Should I keep going? Did I make the right choice? You probably feel that way because you're so used to interpreting the world or interpreting how you feel based on what you see. So right now, the mission is to see it before you see it. To see it before you see it. To see it before you see it. Let's do one more. And once again, just let me know if this resonates with you or not. There's a new birth on the way. Once you get done with this process of sticking to the plan, following through with the vision, once you get done with that process, once you see it through to the end, you're going to find that waiting for you is truly a rebirth. I mean, the signs are already present. The signs are already present. Know that it will come to pass. Know that it's going to follow through and you're going to see it to the end. You've invested. You've done the work. In a way, this stage of the process is you going within, having faith and trusting. It's out of your hands now. You've done the work. Let the work do the rest. You're feeling it intuitively. Follow that. Let it take place. This might be something you've never done before, so you might be unfamiliar with this. But as long as you know that you've put in the work and you've done everything that you're supposed to do, trust and believe, there is new birth on the way. There is new birth on the way. There is resurrection and rejuvenation of these energies. What you've been working for is on the way. Your moon sign is Aquarius, so you're used to the unexpected. You're used to seeing the world as a place that has hope. So have hope in yourself and have hope in your situation. And there we have it. There we have it. And Fat Tony, it helps extremely if you get the birth date, but if you don't know the time. But if you don't know the time, you can still get one. You can still get your signs. But if you know the time, that's gonna give you the best possible result. If you don't know the time, at least know the day and the year. Well, I mean, which everybody knows what day and year they were born. Unless, of course, you don't. Ace says, I'm working on something grand these days, and I dreamt Elon Musk was with me, encouraging me, brainstorming, and he deflected a naysayer. LOL. Funny moment. Nice. See, that's an interesting symbol to have there in a dream. I wonder what energies he represented in that moment for you. Perhaps you can find other ways to tap into that energy and allow it to continue to assist you and teach you. And Amali, didn't you mention something to me about have some of these energies sometimes coming through in dreams as teachers of the opposite sex? Okay, well, King J's phone might be lagging a bit, so we're just gonna trust that this is information that he can work with, utilize, and stay the course. Absolutely. All right, all right. So, what time is it? Jeez Louise, 1 o'clock? What the hell? Nice. King J says, thank you, Travis. And my oldest son, his name is Travis. But this was on point. Nice. Cool, cool. Cool. All right. MC Maestro says, last teacher of the opposite sex in a dream was a little wild. It's still an information exchange. Remember what Panic said about sex in a dream? That is an exchange of information. I mean, everything is an exchange of information, but that is a dance and exchange of information of a specific type. Even in the waking world, sex is an exchange of DNA information. It's an exchange of chemistry and chemicals, physical information. Do we not adjust and adapt based on the chemicals of our partners that we get intimate with? Ace says, night fam. I was falling asleep as I ate dinner. Constantly breastfeeding, a growing and teething 1-year-old demands I eat more than Funyuns and sweet potato. So I hung in there and had a legit meal. Awesome. Good night, Ace. I hope that you do well. I know that you're doing well. It's a long fight, but it's worth it. Certainly worth it. It'll be over before you know it, so enjoy it while it's here. Enjoy it while it's here. Hey Maestro, do you see the new smooth-brained attempt at coming up with YouTube names that I'm supposed to read out loud? Whoever this person is, they're far out of their league. But I can see the spirit of tenacity at work. Or maybe it's the spirit of ignorance. Doesn't matter. Lance Benefield says, I just bought an astral traveling medallion, but haven't started working with it yet. But I sleep with it by my pillow. Since I've been doing that, every dream is a movie. Wait until I consciously work with it. That sounds cool, an astral traveling medallion. Is it one that was like specifically for that, or is it one that you kind of got and then assigned it that task? Okay. Right on. All right. So, listen, tomorrow night, I'm going to go live and we're going to talk about some occult things. I don't know what yet specifically, but it will come to me. I'll do everything in my conscious power to go live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So be there. We'll get this conversation rolling. Which is something that I'm not really that good at, probably because I don't have very much experience. But that's fine, because I don't really smoke like that at all. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. Come on. I did it all for the nookie. Come on, so you can get that cookie. Or whatever Limp Bizkit said. Bimp Lisket. All right, everybody. Let's get up out of here. Meet up again tomorrow night. Lovely. All right, so yeah, that's it. See y'all next time. This is always a good time for me. I enjoy it a lot. Appreciate y'all being here. Had a good time, and I'll see y'all on the next time. For sure. All right. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. I love you all. Peace.